Hello, welcome to the Go Kids Supplementary Courses training video. I'm Hayden and I'll be your guide today. Before we begin, I'm going to give you a small overview of the course, giving you some key details to help you understand what's going on. So let's begin with our outline. You can see that we have 5 parts. The first part, I'll explain what the supplementary courses are. In the second part, I'll explain how you can become a supplementary course teacher. In the third part, I'll let you know when the supplementary courses are going to be ready. In the fourth part, I'll tell you what the course content is. And finally, I'll share some of the skills that you may need in order to teach these courses. So what exactly are the supplementary courses? These courses are divided into 3 sections: beginning, intermediate, and advanced. And the hope of these lessons is that students will be able to improve their confidence while speaking casually. We want all of our students to have fun while they're learning how to talk. So how can you become a supplemental course teacher? Well, first, there are a series of training videos, including this one that you can watch. After that, there's a quiz that you can take that will allow you to become qualified within our system. We also recommend that teachers take our workshop training programs, specifically the 2 titled How to Teach Phonics and How to Teach Reading. So when will the supplementary courses become available? In May, the training videos, such as this one and the quiz, are going to be available so teachers can begin studying. In the middle of June, students will be able to sign up for the courses, and then the courses will roll out in the middle of July. So make sure to pay attention to your weekly updates. Let's move into part 4 and talk about what the course content will include. The class will be like the rest of our classes at Go Kid in that they will be online, one-on-one, and 25 minutes long. We'll have 2 courses here, the Go Kid Phonics course and our Go Kid Free Talk course. The Phonics course will cover a lot of elementary phonics details in order to help the students learn how to read more accurately. Our Go Kid Phonics course is divided into 4 phases. You can see them here. If you'd like, you can pause the video to examine them further, or you can also wait until later as I will discuss them in further detail as part of the training video. The second course is our Go Kid Free Talk course. This one is designed for students to have the ability to have more practice speaking in a conversational setting. We have 2 levels for this one, the beginning and the advanced level. In the beginning level, students will be able to talk about daily activities, such as going to school or going to the supermarket. In the advanced course, students will go through real-life scenarios, such as when they might travel abroad, how to discuss things while they're shopping or eating, etc. So let's move on to the skills that you're going to need, and let's begin the training portion of this video. You can see here we have a list of 7 skills that you're going to need. Starting right at the top, you'll notice that we have a new alphabet that's different than the alphabetical order. This is how we're going to teach our phonics course. In this order, we find that students can learn letters that are more commonly used early on, which allows them to start reading words more quickly, especially words that can be learned by sounding out. Another reason for this order is that we can pair letters together that look similar. At this stage, students are just beginning to learn how to identify different letters. So it's useful for them to learn H and N together, as well as letters like D, P, and B. Each lesson will have 3 or 4 letters grouped together in a strategic way, as we've just mentioned. Make sure that you're able to pronounce each letter accurately in your own way, and that you can properly demonstrate for the student how they need to move their mouth in order to make the sounds as required. You can see in number 2 of our list that you want to encourage your student to sound out the word. When your student is having a hard time, don't give them the word. Have them sound it out, or train them in the same way that you want them to actually learn. Take, for example, a word like ham. If your student is having a difficult time reading that word, sound it out for them. Ham, rather than give them the word outright. Let's move on to the next slide where we're going to cover numbers 3 and 4 from this list. First, we want our students to learn how to blend letter sounds together. Blending is the ability to smoothly combine the sounds of letters in order to make a word. Take the word sat, for example. The sounds are s, a, and t. As we're reading this, we might say s-at, and then quickly blend them together, sat, in order to say and read the word. Once students are able to combine letter sounds to make words, they can begin to read CVC words, or consonant-vowel-consonant words. At that point, they're also ready to start learning about word families. Word families are used to help students see patterns in words so they can quickly read a large number of words. Take, for example, the word family at. Then a student is able to read words such as sat, hat, and pat very quickly. Or am, which allows students to read Sam, ham, and ram. Once your student knows all of the consonant sounds, they're able to begin practicing digraph or consonant blends. A blend happens when two consonants are paired together with no vowel sound interrupting them. These can be words that have BL, like black, or ST, like stop. The sound of a letter can change sometimes when this happens. For example, in stop, the T sound would change. Usually, a T has a strong T sound, but when paired with S, like in stop, the T now sounds a little bit more like a soft D sound, stop. Once students can read beginning blends, then they're ready to read end blends, such as the LK in milk or the ND in hand. When your students can master these blends, they can read a lot of new words. Up next, we have sight words, or high-frequency words. Sight words are words that are so common, students can actually learn them just through repetition. Oftentimes, a sight word will not obey the typical rules of consonant and vowel sounds. Take, for example, the very common word, I. An I by itself should usually make the short sound I, but a student can easily recognize that when I is in the context of a greater sentence, it makes the word I, meaning themselves. Another example is a word like go or to. The O in each of these words creates a different sound than the typical short ah sound, and yet, through repetition, a student can very easily learn to say go or to as needed. Sight words are very useful in that they are common throughout all text. If a student is able to read the basic 50 to 200 sight words, they can actually read upwards of 50% of any new book that they pick up. Make sure that your students are able to learn these sight words. Every lesson is going to have 3 or 4 sight words or high-frequency words in them. Make sure that your student is able to read these words before any lesson is finished. At the end of each lesson is a phonics reader. These readers contain the phonemes and letter combinations from any given lesson. Students usually enjoy these, as they're repetitive, simple to read, and encouraging. Make sure that your student can read them on their own, or if they can't read them on their own, you can help them. The phonics readers of levels 1, 2, and 4 come from the Big Cat Phonics series, while those from level 3 are written by your Go-Go Kid colleagues. Here are some extra tips when teaching these readers. Make sure that your own pronunciation is always clear and easy to understand. If your student is having a hard time, read for them first while having them repeat after you. If your student is able to read well, have a little bit of fun with them. Extend their learning by asking them questions about the text. Who is this person? What are they doing? Why is this person feeling this way? Encourage students to try spelling or sounding out key words on their own. Finally, here are some skills you will need in order to teach reading. First, model reading or assisted reading. You can sometimes read for your student to help them hear how it should sound. Also, repeated reading. Students should have extra time to repeat reading whenever necessary. The more they repeat, the easier it will be for them to become fluent. And how do we measure fluency? Fluency is a student's ability to start a sentence and finish a sentence in a way that doesn't sound choppy. Often, beginning readers will read one word at a time, so their sentences may sound like this. Encourage your students to create new phrases, so their sentences may sound like this. You can do this by pairing 2 words at a time, or 3 words, or key phrases, or having them take a deep breath and read an entire sentence from the beginning to the end. Thank you for watching this training video. We hope you found it informative. Feel free to use this information as you fill out the quiz.